When my brother was sick, it was a slow, steady decline. And I asked him a question that seems ridiculous, but I just had to. And when I say he was tired and he was sick, I mean, it was really rough. It was a year and a half, and he was staggered by surgeries and chemo where his cells felt on fire, times that he was too tired to even pick up his phone to text. Um, and it was a tough situation. I remember we were standing on the back patio, and I wanted to ask him this question, but it felt a little ridiculous. And so I kind of introduced it by mentioning that I had asked my dad this question. And I was like, hey, before dad died, I asked him if there was a make-believe religion with your name. So his name was Shanta, so it was Shantaism. What would the core belief be? And later my dad told me that it would be self-sufficiency. And so I kind of turned it to my brother, and I was like, so, if there was something called Kanishkism, what would the core belief be? And he didn't really answer. I mean, of course he didn't, right? He's like so tired, and it's hard to think. And, his kid brother is giving him a homework assignment. So then I tried to offer something up, and I was like, oh, maybe one of your superpowers is your laser focus. Or I was kind of grasping, I was like, another superpower of yours, you get two superpowers, is your friends, like he had this close-knit group of friends, and I feel like if you were his friend, you knew that you passed some sort of test of character, of heart, and he would keep you close, and so then they would look out for each other too, because you kind of knew you're good people. But he didn't bite, and so I was trying to think of something else, and I thought of Georgia football, which we grew up in Athens, Georgia, and my brother treated Georgia football like it was a second religion. He was the kind of fan who's signing day, recruiting class, spring practice, every game, rituals. And one time I had mentioned to him, I was like, I wonder sometimes if like team fandom is actually like tribalism in disguise, which caused a lot of problems for people, for humanity. And my brother was like, I don't see it that way at all. I actually think it's not about division, it's about unity. And he was talking about the kickoff chant, and it is something to be seen, right? It's like 92,000 people roaring in unison, or in this case, barking in unison. And my brother was like, that's the best of us, right? That's humanity's superpower, is being able to work in unison. Um, and so I thought of that, and I kind of offered it to my brother. I was like, maybe the central tenet of Kanishkaism is teamwork. And he didn't like give the stamp of approval and smile with his big smile the way would be ideal, I guess. But he kind of like paused and nodded, and he was like, just whispered. He's like, there might be something to that. And that's meaningful for me. And so for people that you love, you should ask the big questions, because they might not even give you a full answer, and it might just be a whisper. There might be something to that, and that can echo on for you and for his kids. So ask the big questions, even if you're not going to get a big answer.